Well, after the dramatic fire that destroyed our Leopard 50 catamaran, it's time to start boat shopping all over again at the Annapolis Boat Show. This week we reviewed the Seawind 1600 with highlighting all its benefits from stiff construction, dagger boards, able to be beached and with a draft of only 2 feet and able to sail at near wind speeds in most wind strengths. Does it live up to all the hype? Come barefoot with us and find out. Hi everyone, welcome back to another edition of the Barefoot Doctors Sailing, and we're doing a review of the Seawind 1600. And what did you think about the Seawind?
Oh look, we love the Seawind 1600. We love all boats, but we especially love the Seawind 1600. In fact, the Seawinds were boats we were looking at before we got the Leopard quite seriously. And really the one thing that pushed us in favour of the Leopard was in fact the front cockpit. But the Seawinds came in very close behind, and really going through the Seawind now really does highlight again all those wonderful features that they have. So we were shown around by Richard Ward. So tell us about Richard.
Oh, Richard's a lovely person actually. He reached out to us with the boat fire and was really lovely and just offered support and his condolences, and that was really quite touching because he's a very busy man.
He was reiterating the issues about liabilities for world cruising yachtsmen and making sure that people understood their liabilities, which weren't just about their own boat. It was about damage to others and the risks with pollution. So he was reinforcing the information we were sending out, which was absolutely wonderful. So thanks very much for that, Richard. Now it turns out we asked to do a tour of the Seawind 1600, and Richard himself, the CEO of Seawind, who's also owned and managed the company for the last 40 years, showed us around, so we were very honoured. A quick summary for everybody: Seawind 1600, it's a 52-foot boat, so remember this is 6 foot longer than the Antares and obviously 4 foot longer than the Outremer 45. It has a displacement of only 2 foot with the dagger boards up, and the rudders also lift, so you can sit on the beach, which for us in Australia is an absolutely wonderful and quite high on our priorities.
Yeah.
And the Seawind weighs 28,000 pounds or 13,000 kilograms, and this boat is a true world cruising boat with very good performance that we'll discuss later.
So let's cut to the interview with Richard and get on with it.
I mean, the people that buy your boats, are they generally sort of world cruisers?
I think probably Seawinds have a better reputation than just about any other catamarans. Like that little boat, the 38-foot boat, we've had probably 5 circumnavigations.
Right.
And that countless serious ocean crossings.
And it's also been lots of your boats in the charter market too, hasn't it? Just because they're so kind of well designed and spacious.
Yeah, we've done well and people love them. Actually, Jennifer, this lady coming up here, she's got one of these, 1160s, and she says that I'd never buy another Seawind, you know. And I, it took me back a little bit. And she said, "That's good. I'll never get rid of my boat." Pretty well. Obviously, if the weather's not very good, you move inboard a little bit. Yeah. But you've got pretty damn good visibility. Right. If you really do want to see your bow, then you step up here a bit. It works well. So all the systems are controlled by this big winch. Yeah. And all the ropes go away into these lockers. So you shouldn't have any ropes in the cockpit. Yeah. It's a really nice system, and then with the two mainsail control lines, come back to these 2 winches here. The way our helms are, and this is equally as good, is that you're not climbing up.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And yeah, as you say, you can get underneath the cover if you want to be out of the sun. Does this work well to stop spray? And that's pretty solid, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. It's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're very good. And we do have a system. There's another one that comes here.
Oh, right, okay.
And then it comes around here.
Okay, oh, great, yeah.
Yeah, and then we put a zip up there.
Right.
So you can completely...
Oh, lovely, yeah, because it's so much nicer when you can have complete protection.
I mean, I quite like the idea of the sailboat that you're exposed. You should have to go on the wet weather gear on occasionally. Lots of good handholds.
Yep.
I believe in that.
Yep, absolutely. And I mean, I must say, like, your dagger board doesn't come up at the top.
Here's the dagger board.
Oh, here it is, okay. Oh, wow.
They lead down underneath the deck. And see that line driver down there?
Yep.
That's how you control it.
Okay.
A lot of our lines coming down from the bow come down through these tow rails.
Yep.
Two lines come out of the tow rail.
Out of the sun and not going to tangle.
These are carbon chain plates, and this is how we pick up the boat when we load it.
How long have you been doing the 1600s with the dagger boards?
Oh, all the time.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yeah.
The smaller ones don't have them.
They have fixed keels.
Yeah.
And look, quite frankly, if I'm buying a boat, I would go with fixed keels. I just really like fixed keels. I mean, I used to be a racing sailor, not anymore.
Yeah, same.
And I tend to like sailing just with myself and my wife.
Yeah.
And I don't need complications where I don't need complications.
Right. For your smaller boats with the keels, can you actually sit them on the sand?
Absolutely.
Oh, you can. Okay.
Yeah. If you're in the Pacific, where you generally have pretty big tides, or good, reasonable tides, you pick a tide where to put your and make sure that the next tide is higher.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's a really nice thing. It's inexpensive. You can get out and you can clean the water line.
I know.
It's not as good as putting an anti-foul on, but very big lockers up here. The fuel tanks are in those two lockers.
Yeah, I see that.
But they're massive, great lockers.
Yeah.
The middle one is the anchor system, of course. On all our boats, we try to design things like anchor winches so you can't kick your toe on them. 15 tons.
Yeah, it's pretty good for.
It's not bad for the
52-foot boat. Yeah.
But also for the quality of the fit out. It's pretty good. I mean, you have enough experience to know this anyway. I'm not a great believer in super lightweight cats. They're
uncomfortable and
all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And you've got to look after them a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
Our boats are designed to be good performance boats, but they look after you. You can get hit by a pretty big squall on a boat like this, and nothing much is going to happen.
I think that's something that people don't understand, the balance between, if a boat that's very light is going to be very jittery and very hard to handle.
And you've always got the problem of you have to look after your boat all the time. Because, if you
actively sailing.
And you have to make sure that you're able to let the power go out of your rig quickly. Like you will find that test the escape hatch.
That's right.
You don't want to do that. Everything on this boat, and pretty much on all our boats, are overbuilt. You won't break anything on this boat, I don't think.
How long has the 1600 been out there?
10 years. We haven't built a lot of boats.
Oh, right.
No, most of our production is the smaller boats.
Yeah.
This has been a project that we've really just allowed to tick on, and we only build a couple of boats a year. We probably will step that up a little bit because we're moving into bigger premises. Nice anchor system on this boat. So you can see a super high holding anchor. Anchors, to me, are one of the most important things on a boat. They just give you security.
Yeah. And I mean, the systems for hoisting the main and everything are.
We've got really high quality fittings on it.
Yeah.
So with the minimum amount of friction, it's all in this curved track. But also we take the sheet.
Oh, right.
There, and that way, it doesn't hold the sheet up. So you get a nice even movement. So they're dagger rudders, great lift up.
Okay.
Once you've got them moving, they tend to float up. I think there's a sacrificial pin. It's a beautifully balanced rudder, very light.
And is it chain steering, like chain links? Yeah.
As standard 57, this is probably a grain.
Yeah. Oh, and they've got a spectrum. Obviously that's just a choice, isn't it? Wow, nice. Well finished inside. Isn't it? And lots of space too.
Yeah, it's a pretty reasonable one to work in. A good ventilation.
Yeah.
I believe in ventilation a lot. So you got hatches forward. This TV
That's nicely reset.
swivels out.
Oh yeah.
This is pantry.
Oh yeah.
And and these are all on sliding drawers, so that you can get to the back of them. Nice chart table. I think the galley works pretty well on this boat. You can open those windows and hang things out there. I think the quality of everything is really good. All the timber is done. So this is obviously the owner's side. So a lovely bedroom.
Yes, it is.
Compared to a lagoon and whatnot, we don't have the widths and the holes, but we have the performance.
Yeah, that's right.
And you probably don't notice this door, but when it goes away, it goes seamlessly.
That's really nice.
Lovely. Yeah.
You notice how the headliners stop. It enables us to put this sort of strip lighting in here.
Yeah, it looks
but also
lovely.
it's good. I like this style because then you're not trying to match that into that, which is very hard to do and make it look good. And also you don't get any squeaks where you're rubbing and this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And this is just a little thing to put your lippy on in the morning.
Very important.
I know.
A great bathroom.
Cheers.
Nice.
In here, this is your washing machine.
Oh.
Well concealed.
Good quality equipment goes on the boat, like Tecna toilets and stuff. Yeah. There's a lovely shower, nice big shower.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, nice and roomy there.
Somewhere to sit down if you.
Yeah.
You've got handholds all the way down,
Yeah.
so you're not trying to sort of brace yourself.
You haven't had any problems with your hatches?
No, we haven't. We're actually not doing opening hatches anymore. We're doing solid hatches and with the ability to break them.
Oh, okay.
So this here, these are designed as two double beds, two single beds with a filler in between.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's great.
And I think that's good because quite often you have two boys or something and they don't really want to share what you're doing.
Yeah, that's great. It's really nicely finished off, Richie.
Yeah, no, pretty nice. The later model, we've probably got an extra, I don't know, 4 inches in the width of it.
Oh, right, okay.
All this interior doesn't, it's not kit stuff that you can just show into the boat. It's all built into the boat. It's labour intensive, it's beautiful. This boat takes a lot of hours to build.
What is the production time? And like if somebody orders one, how long will it take?
Look, I'd have to find out, but I think at the moment it's about 3 or 4 years. At the moment, the best we can do at the moment is 3 a year of this boat. Virtually everything we do in the factory is resin infused. And what resin infused does, it makes sure that you don't put more resin than you need. The system will extract the resin.
Right.
So, and it also means that if you got it right, the laminate is compacted very hard. That's one thing. No voids, no bubbles, and that sort of thing. But it's a consistency thing too. So the next boat should come out exactly the same as this boat. If you hand laminate boats as we used to do, It really depends on whether the guy came to work with a headache or
Yeah.
not. I think the ergonomics on our boat is probably as good as what you'll find.
How long have Seawinds been building boats?
Oh, don't even ask. I think next year will be our 40th year.
40th, yeah. That's fantastic.
And unfortunately, I've been there the whole 40 years.
Well, you've done a great job, Richard.
I think one of the reasons why we have been successful is because they're people boats. They work on a people basis. They're also sailing boats. These boats are fun to sail. They give you good performance. They react like a boat should react. They're not sluggish. They tack. That boat there, I've never tried it on this boat, but that boat there, you can probably tack immediately in say it's in 10 knots of breeze, you could probably tack 10 times and everyone would be a successful tack.
Wow, okay.
And that's pretty rare. Our philosophy too is that we don't build boats so light that they're uncomfortable, they bounce around. We like to have a little bit of weight in the boat, but not too much weight that
compromise performance.
Performance. No catamaran likes being overloaded, and you keep you don't really want to load the boat down so that you've got a lot more water, wetted surface, and the boat will suffer. And performance to me is also a major part of safety. If you can sail out of danger, if you can depend on doing, sort of 200-mile day or something like that, then you've got a huge safety factor built in.
Price kind of bracket?
It will be probably somewhere around about 1.1 or something like that. We build all our boats with, with the same quality of winches, the same all the sort of built-in quality is there.
Yeah, look, thanks very much, Richard.
Right,
that was great.
Thank you very much.
All right, and good luck. I just hope it all works out for you.
Thanks. It was really nice of you to, as I say, reach out to us at that time when we were a little bit under duress.
Oh, I can imagine. That must have been a horrible time.
Back after the tour of the Seawind 1600. So what did you think?
Look, as we said before, we have always loved the Seawinds and we are really impressed with their performance, and that is one of the really great features about the Seawinds that really sucked us in and almost got us over the line in the past. So if you look at these polars from the Seawind 1600, at 6 to 8 knots of wind speed, the boat will actually sail at 6 to 8 knots. So you can do wind speed in light airs. So that is a great feature. On other angles, and as the wind gets stronger, you sail close to wind speed, maybe 1 to 2 knots under wind speed, and this is on all angles from say 60 degrees to about 120 degrees off the wind. The other thing that's really, really impressive is that the Seawind upwind on 40 degrees from true wind will sail between 7.5 and 11 knots in the higher wind speed brackets. So this is phenomenally good performance if you're trying to get off a lee shore or if you're trying to make way to windward. And Richard's point about the boat being not super light, which makes it more comfortable and safer. The boat will look after you. You don't have to be quite as particular with sail changes and squalls, or if there's an increase in wind strength, you've got more time to make those changes. Whereas on a very light boat, you have to get up there and do it real fast, as I'm sure you've all seen on other channels where people are sailing the very light performance cats. Moving on to the aesthetics and the inside fit out, honey. You are the aesthetics girl.
Well, I don't know about that, but I know what I like, and I like a really spacious stern cockpit. I love the use of space, and it's also really comfortable. It's aesthetically pleasing right the way through. The other thing I like is it doesn't creak. So the cabinetry is obviously glassed in, and it means that as you're walking through the boat, you get less movement, you get less creaking. And that's a really big point. It's
also very stiff when it's sailing along, so there's very little movement of the hulls because of the way it's built with glass. All bulkheads are fully glassed, and they also have carbon reinforcement in the boat. So this is a very strong, very stiff boat that doesn't creak or groan.
There's nice big windows. The cabins are spacious, considering the size of the hulls, and I thought that's really well thought out. So you know, guys, how we like weather protection. So what about the weather protection aspect?
Yeah, look, I mean, one of the things about the 1600 Seawind is it does have very big cockpit roof, so that extends quite a long way laterally. You can sit on the cockpit seat either in the weather or out of the weather if you choose, but it also has the option of having drop downs that you can protect yourself in the cockpit for bad weather situations. So again, that is one of the really important features that we love about this boat. All of the lines lead into the cockpit of the 1600, which is absolutely wonderful. A lot of boats will have their winches for their foresails outside and on the side decks, which means you have to go out in the weather again, but the 1600 all leads back into the middle of the cockpit. So great feature that, and keeps you out of the weather and keeps you safe, although as Richard said, he likes being in the weather.
And some people do. Some people like feeling the wind in their hair, and they love to be right out there in the elements. We've been there, and we would much prefer to be a little bit more protected.
Nice thing about the 1600s, you can be out in the weather if you want, or you can close yourself in and be protected if you want as well. And again, this is all about personal preferences, and each of us makes our own choice. So the other issue with the 1370 compared to the 1600 is it has fixed keels. Now again, some people prefer that, and some people prefer lifting a dagger board, so you have a shallower draft. But both these boats, the keel boats and the dagger boards, can sit on the sand. Now, as we've said before, this is a feature that we think is very important, because sailing in Australia, sailing around the tidal ports in the UK and in the Brittany coast around France, that's often a huge benefit. The production keel boats and many of the performance cats with dagger boards are not able to beach themselves. So we do think that that feature is really great.
Beached is. And
obviously the 1600 is really very much like a bigger version of Alberdash, our previous boat, our 42-foot Pescott Whitehaven boat that was a high performance boat.
That you built.
And we got 20 years of wonderful sailing out of it. But all of those issues that you have with performance cats, which is exposure to the elements, fast traveling at 16 to 20 knots, diving and spray, we actually want to be protected. So if we are going to sail fast, we do want to have more protection from the weather. So the Perspex cover on the front of a cockpit of the Seawind is a great feature, and being able to close in the cockpit again is a wonderful feature as well.
As we all know, as sailors, every single boat is a compromise. The point I'm trying to make here is that there's no wrong boats. It's just a case of what importance you place on what aspect on each feature. And when one outweighs the other, then that's kind of
suits
the
you.
Boat that you go for.
This isn't about one boat being better than another. This is about these features are the things that we put higher on the priority list than those features, and somebody else will make their priority list different. I do keep on saying to people, get out and sail on the boats rather than just looking at them in boat shows, because when you're out sailing on the boat or charter them for a week, then you will get a much better sense of what they're actually like to live on and to sail. And you don't want to have spent $1 million and then find your decision wasn't the right one.
We think Seawind's a great boat.
Yeah, this is an absolutely fantastic boat. They sail around the world. They've proven their safety. Exactly what Richard says about the boat will look after you. So overall, we certainly give this boat a thumbs up. Has all these features that we mentioned. Doesn't have the other features that the cruising production cats have, and at the end of the day, that's the choice that you make. For a performance cat, this boat is absolutely spectacular and very high on our list of top boats that we would love to have. 2025 delivery time. So that is obviously one of the challenges we're all facing.
So this is a really great boat designed by Aussies. We'd just like to say thank you to Richard and the team for showing us around the Seawind and explaining lots of stuff. It was really enjoyable, and he's a really great guy, very, very approachable. So thanks very much, Richard. We really appreciate your time.
So if you want to find out more about Seawinds, go to their website, which is seawindcats.com, or give the agents a call.
All of a sudden, the choice just got harder. If you have liked this episode, hit the like button, subscribe for free, and ding the dong so you don't miss your fix of the next exciting episode. Love and health from the Barefoot Doctors. So this is a really great boat made by Aussies.
It's actually made by Vietnamese.